Hi everyone, welcome back to Sri Sampath Vinayaka Learn Easy channel. Today we are going to discuss about the magnitude of an angle and the position of any angle in the coordinate plane, that is in the plane. Okay, before going to discuss that, we are going to discuss about the angle, definition of angle. Then after we are going to discuss what is magnitude. After that we are going to locate the position of the given angle. Okay, so see what is magnitude. Magnitude is nothing but the quantity. For example, 40 degrees. 40 is the magnitude of the particular angle. Okay, like that in a plane we are going to represent or plot 360 degrees only. Okay na? If the angle is about 360, then how can we represent it? All those things we are going to discuss now. Okay nama? See, magnitude means it is the amount of rotation through which one of the arms must be rotated about the vertex to bring it into the position of the other arm. Okay, it can be understandable to you if you know the definition of an angle. See, angle means the opening in between the two rays which are started from the same point. We discussed it. If the two rays are started from the same initial point, then the opening between these two rays is discussed as an angle. Okay, see, this is known as initial ray, and this is known as revolving ray. See, here this revolving ray, if we are going to revolve this ray in counterclockwise, then it is considered as positive theta. We discussed. Okay now, if the revolving ray is in the clockwise direction, it is initial ray. It is revolving ray. If the revolving ray is clockwise direction, then the angle is considered as negative. We discussed it. Okay, now we are going to discuss the magnitude. See, it is the amount of rotation through which one of the arms must be rotated. That means I may rotate this arm or this arm. These rays are known as arms. So I may rotate this revolving ray or I may rotate this initial ray. Okay, see, this rotation is taken place rotated about the vertex. Okay, let us consider the vertex as O. So if you are going to rotate one arm, okay about that vertex to bring it to the position of the other arm. Okay, other arm in the sense I want to represent 40 degrees. Actually 40 degrees in the sense if it is the initial arm, then 40 degrees ray must be somewhere. So I am going to rotate the revolving ray to that 40 degree position. That is bringing back to the position of the other arm. These are the two arms for 40 degrees. Okay, this rotating ray or revolving ray is going to be bring back to the position of the next arm. So this is known as magnitude. So magnitude may be positive or negative. Now we are going to discuss the plane. We know that in a plane x and y axes are there. Those two axes are mutually perpendicular to each other. Those two axes divides the plane into 4 regions. Okay na? In counterclockwise, those 4 regions are named as quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4 we know. Okay, see, depends on the revolving ray, we are going to name or we are going to fix the position of the angle. Okay, if suppose if the rotating or revolving ray in quadrant 1, okay now then how we are going to say? Okay now if it is in quadrant 2, what we are going to say? If it is in quadrant 3, quadrant 4, okay now those we are going to discuss now. See this is the plane. This plane is divided into 4 regions by x and y axis. Okay, this region is known as quadrant 1, this region is known as quadrant 2, and this region is known as quadrant 3, and this region is known as quadrant 4. in counterclockwise direction, we are going to name those regions as quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Let us suppose this is the initial ray, okay, and this is our revolving ray. If this revolving ray makes theta, let us suppose it is theta, okay nama, theta, here it is theta, okay, remember that ma. See, we know from this initial ray to this OY we are having 90 degrees, and from this OY to OX dash it is again 90, that means from 90 to 180 it is, and from OX dash to OY dash it is from 180 to 270, and from OY dash to OX it is 90 and it is from 270 to 360. See, this theta lies in quadrant 1, theta lies in quadrant 1 if the theta is in between 0 and 90. Theta lies in between 0 and 90, then it is in quadrant 1. If, listen ma, if this revolving ray is entered into this quadrant, let us suppose this, okay, that means this theta lies in quadrant 2 if the theta is lies in between 90 and 180, lies in between 90 degree and 180 degree ma, okay, remember this, okay. And if this, listen ma, this revolving ray enters into quadrant 3, if it is lies in between 180 to 270 degrees ma, okay, 270 degrees. And see, if the revolving ray is in quadrant, that means the theta, if the theta is in quadrant 4, okay na, then the theta is lies in between 270 to 360. We have to remember this, okay na ma. See, okay, I hope you understand everyone. Theta lies in quadrant 1 if it is in between 0 and 90. And see, again this is theta, okay. If theta lies in quadrant 2, then the theta is in between 90 and 180. If the same theta, I mean the angle or the revolving ray is in quadrant 3, then the angle is in between 180 and 270. If the same revolving ray or the theta lies in quadrant 4, okay na, then the theta is in between 270 and 360 ma. So remember that, okay. If suppose if the revolving ray again enters into this quadrant 1, then that is more than 360, okay. Then how can we are going to say that particular theta belongs to which quadrant? We are going to discuss that. Up to this everyone understood now? So if I am going to ask you 250 belongs to which quadrant? So 250 means it is in between 180 and 270. So definitely it belongs to quadrant 3 ma. So we have to remember that. Okay. So by this, these are the magnitudes ma. See, here the initial ray. Okay. And if this initial ray is rotated about the vertex O to bring back to its other arm, then this theta is known as the magnitude. Okay. Similarly, in quadrant 2, its magnitude is in between 90 to 180. If theta is in quadrant 3, then its magnitude is in between 180 to 270. If the theta is in between if the theta is in quadrant 4, then its magnitude is in between 270 to 360. See ma, let us consider this as theta, okay. This line, let us take this line as A, it as X and it as O. Okay, this OA represents or makes an angle with this initial ray OX as theta. This XOA is not only theta ma, it is also represents 360 plus theta. Why? Because see ma, after finishing one complete revolution, if does not stops here and it continues, up to the same OA, then it is also theta, but actually its value is 360 plus theta. One revolution it completed. Let us consider again another angle it also represents. Two rotations are completed here. Okay, now that means this pink color line represents 2 into 360 plus theta. That means, see this 360 degrees plus theta is also represents the same XOA, and the same XOA is represents 2 into 360 plus theta. That means if the initial ray completes one revolution and it does not stops at the initial position and moves further on, then that particular angle is represented as 360 into n plus theta. Okay, that means this XOA represents 360 into n plus theta. This n may be any whole number from the starting angle. If I am going to take 0 for n, that means it does not, in the first case XOA means it's not completed one revolution it just started and stops at the OA. So that's why the number of rotations in the first case is 0. So in the first case, let us consider that is alpha 1. In the first case, it is 360 into 0 plus theta. That means it is theta. In the second case, alpha 2, let us consider it is 360 into 1 plus theta. That is 360 plus theta. This is in the second case. In third case, that is 360 into 2 plus theta. That means 2 into 360 plus theta. That means the same angle represents many angles. Okay now. So that can be considered as changing the angle into this form. If suppose I am going to give you 520 degrees. Okay, 520 degree belongs to which quadrant? Okay, now first we have to think that this is more than 360. So how many revolutions are there in that 520 we have to decide. Okay, so see 520 degrees I gave you. Okay, so this 520 degree belongs to which quadrant we have to decide. For that we have to divide it with 360. Divide this 520 with 360. 360 ones are, it is 360. Why? Because 362s are, it is 720 nama. That's why. Okay, 0. From 12, if I am going to subtract 6, it is 6. 4, 3, 160. That means this 520 is represented as 1 into 360 plus 160. That means it completed, see here I am going to represent this. Okay, that means it completed one complete revolution and entered into the second quadrant. Why? Because see 160 means it is in between 90 and 180. So the final ray is at this position. That's why this is 520. Okay, so the magnitude and the position of the angle is find and calculated and located in this procedure. Okay, if the angle is above 360. Okay, if the angle is below 360, then it is very easy to us to locate. If it is more than 360, then we have to find out how many revolutions are there in the given angle. By that revolutions, we have to check that particular angle belongs to which quadrant. Got it, ma? So now I am going to give you some angles. Decide to which quadrant the particular angle belongs to. See, these are the three angles I am going to give you. Okay, and fourth one we are going to write. Okay, 87. Okay, see, how we are going to check to which quadrant these angles are belong. Okay, see 410 degrees. 410 degrees in the sense, firstly we have to draw the plane diagram. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, 4, like that. Then after we have to check this angle. See here this angle is more than 360. So we have to check how many 360s are there in this 410. So I am going to divide this 410 with 360. Okay, it's very clear that in 1 are 360, then it is 50 ma. That means this 410 is expressed as, okay, now 410 degrees is expressed as 1 into 360 degree plus 50 degree ma. That means it completed one completed revolution and entered into the quadrant 1 and stops at the 50 degree notation. This represents 410 degrees ma. Okay, coming to this 130, we know that minus 130 he gave. Minus 130 means we are going to measure it in clockwise direction. See, in clockwise direction, if I am going to start, okay na, it is 90, and coming to this, I have to add 40. So this is 130, minus 130 ma. This is minus 130. That means this minus 130 belongs to quadrant 3 ma. Okay, so see, in clockwise direction we are going to measure the angles in negative, no? So minus 130 means we have to measure it in clockwise direction. So this minus 130 belongs to quadrant 3. Why? Because up to this we know 90. Okay, now by adding 40 to that 90 it becomes 130. So it is in quadrant 3. 4 jar. Okay, now 3 is 0. 4 6 are 24 2. 4 3 are 12 and the 2 14. Okay nama. So see 0. 13 minus 4, that is 9. So 90. See, that means this 1530 is expressed as 1530 is expressed as 4 into 360 plus 90 degrees. Okay, that means it completes 4 revolutions ma. 1, okay na, 2, 3, 4 and comes to the 90, exact 90. Okay na, here you have to note that the angles 0, remember ma, it is a very important note. The angles 0, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, all the multiples of 90. Okay na, 270 degrees, 360 degrees, so on. Okay na, so on. That means all the multiples of 90, that means n into 90 degrees. Okay na, all the multiples of 90 does not belongs to any quadrant. Okay na, those are boundary angles. Those are known as boundary angles. For example, see here the 0, angle 0 does not belongs to quadrant 1 or quadrant 4. It is in boundary. 90, it does not belongs to quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. It is in boundary. And 270, 360, again 450, 540, like that, all the multiples of 90. Okay na? All the multiples of 90 does not belongs to any quadrant. Those are boundary angles. So this 1530 does not belongs to any quadrant. It belongs to positive y-axis. It belongs to positive y-axis. Why? Because the angle lies here. That is the boundary angle ma. Okay. And coming to this 87, it is very clear. Okay na. Here I am going to represent this 87. See ma, in this quadrant. Or I am going to draw the diagram here itself. See ma. 87 means it is less than 90. So it is lies in quadrant 1. 87 belongs to quadrant 1 ma. So these are the angles. I am going to give you a few more questions. Draw the diagrams for the following angles. Okay na, showing the exact position of the terminating line. Okay na. In the previous examples we discussed now, in the similar manner, draw the diagrams for these angles ma. Okay. I hope you understand how to trace the position of the terminating line's position of the given angle. Okay na. So I am going to explain you one more method for this. Okay na. Whatever the angle it is less than 360 or more than 360, don't bother about that. I am going to give you one short concept. Okay na. By that concept you are going to locate or trace the position of the terminating line. Okay na, to which it belongs to. Okay na, to which quadrant it belongs to. Understand ma? So see, Let us consider the given angle as alpha. Let us consider the given angle as alpha. Now express that angle, okay na, as n into 90 plus or minus theta. Okay, we have to express the given angle alpha as n into 90 degrees plus or minus theta. Here this theta is acute, that means 0 is less than theta is less than 90. Okay, now that means it is an acute angle. So I have to express the given angle alpha as n into 90 plus or minus theta. This n may be any positive integer. That means, see, here I am going to show you one thing. 784. Let us consider this as alpha. So I have to express this 784 as multiples of 90 plus or minus theta. That means I have to divide this 784 with 90. So see, 784. So 90 8 are. So and the remaining value is 64. That means, see ma, this 784 is expressed as 8 into 90 degrees. Okay na, plus 64. Okay na, else I may express the same 784 as 90. See ma, 784, 99s are, we know that 810. Okay na, 99s are 810. So this 784 is less than how much to that 810? Once you have to check. See ma, if I am going to add 26 to that given angle, that means to the 784, it becomes 810. That is, it is minus 26. Understand ma? So by adding that minus 26, okay, it becomes 784. So this 784 is expressed as 9 into 90 minus 26. Okay, see, now how I am going to trace the position of the angle. See ma, 9, by considering this we are going to explain first. Here I am having 890s. 890s are nothing but 2 revolutions. That means 1 revolution and this is second revolution. 2 revolutions completed and I am having plus 64. That means it's entered into the quadrant 1. That means the position of the angle 784, okay na, belongs to quadrant 1. Okay na, coming to this second representation. Here also see ma, 990s. 990s means up to 890s it completes 2 revolutions. Okay, and that if it is now it is in 9th 90. This 9th 90 is not finished. It is less than that 26 less than the 9th 90. That means again it is in the quadrant 1. So I may represent this 784 in 2 notations. Whatever is convenient to you. Okay, express that angle in your convenient way. See, by converting it into n into 90 plus or minus theta, it is helpful to us. Why? Because in the further discussions I am going to use this. See ma, now we are going to write the trigonometric ratios for this unit circle and specifically for the triangle POM. Okay, see, trigonometric ratios, T ratios I am going to write. Okay, trigonometric ratios of positive theta magnitude. For positive theta I am going to write. Why? Because here, see ma, this angle is measured in counterclockwise, no? That is so theta. So now tell me what is sine theta here. Sine theta, positive theta only. Sine theta means theta's opposite side, that is PM by its hypotenuse OP. Similarly, I am going to write all the trigonometric ratios. Cos theta is equal to, okay, theta's adjacent side, that is OM by OP. Next, tan theta is equal to theta's opposite side by adjacent side, that is PM by OM. Okay, next, cosecant theta. Cosecant theta is equal to hypotenuse by opposite side. Okay, similarly, secant theta is equal to hypotenuse by adjacent side. Okay, cotangent theta is equal to adjacent side by opposite side. We know these are the trigonometric ratios for the positive magnitude theta. Okay. If I am going to consider the same trigonometric ratios to the negative magnitude, that means for negative theta, what will be the ratios? Okay, we are going to check. Okay, see ma. Negative theta in the sense we already discussed, if the angle is measured in counterclockwise. Okay, na? If the angle is measured in counterclockwise, it is positive. If the angle is measured in clockwise, this is negative. So that means it is minus theta ma. So this is minus theta. If it is P, then it is, let us consider it as P dash. Okay na ma. So see here, this PM and P dash M are having same lengths, but regarding its sign it is different. Now I am going to draw this diagram OMP dash here. See ma. This is O and it is M and it is P dash. It is 90 and it is minus theta. Okay. Now in this triangle, tell me what is sine theta. In triangle OMP dash, these are considered in triangle OMP. These are considered in triangle OMP. T ratios of negative magnitude. Okay, in triangle OMP dash. Now tell me sine of minus theta. Now tell me what is sine of minus theta? Its opposite side, that is P dash M by OP. We know that PM is equal to minus P dash M regarding lengths. Let us suppose it is 5, then this becomes minus 5. Okay, so in the place of P dash M, I am going to write minus PM. Okay, why? Because from this, okay, now P dash M is equal to minus PM, no? So I am going to write this. So tell me ma, what is this? Is equal to minus PM by OP. That is nothing but minus sine theta. Why? Because see ma, PM by OP means sine theta. So sine of minus theta is equal to sine theta. It's a very important. Similarly, cos. Okay, find all the values ma. Cos of minus theta. In this triangle, what is cos of minus theta ma? Adjacent side OM by it is OP. Okay na ma. See, adjacent side OM by OP. OM by OP means there is OP dash ma. OP and OP dash are same. Why? Because these are obtained. See ma, OP dash is equal to square root of this plus this. So there is no difference in the values. So it is nothing but, clearly we are going to write OP is equal to OP dash. So what I am going to write this as OM by OP ma. If OM by OP, then it is cos theta. So that's why cos of minus theta is equal to cos theta ma. So remember these as very important note points ma. Okay, similarly I am going to write tan theta. So see ma, here I am going to write tan theta means what? Tan of minus theta ma. Tan of minus theta means its opposite side, okay na, P dash M by, okay na, adjacent side OM. Okay, that means P dash M means what ma? Minus PM by OM. Minus PM by OM means tan theta. Minus tan theta it is. Minus tan theta. So similarly, tan of minus theta. Tan of minus theta is equal to minus tan theta. Okay na ma? So similarly we are going to write the remaining ratios also ma. Okay na? So cosecant of minus theta. So see ma, here after writing this, cosecant of minus theta means, here cosecant of minus theta means what? Hypotenuse by opposite side. Similarly you are going to obtain the same results. Okay, once we are going to check them. Cosecant minus theta. Cosecant minus theta. Tell me what is cosecant minus theta here? Hypotenuse OP dash by opposite side P dash M. That is OP dash is nothing but OP only. It is minus PM. That means minus cosecant theta. Similarly, secant of minus theta. Secant of minus theta is equal to here hypotenuse by adjacent side OM. That means OP by OM only. That is secant theta. There is no change. Okay, now similarly cotangent cot of minus theta is equal to adjacent side OM by opposite side P dash M. That is equal to OM by minus PM. That is equal to minus cot theta. So remember these as formulas. Okay, cosecant of minus theta is equal to minus cosecant theta, like that. So these are the trigonometric ratios of negative magnitude. We have to remember them. Here sine of minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. Cos of minus theta is equal to cos theta. And tan of minus theta is equal to tan theta. Sorry, tan of minus theta is equal to minus tan theta. Okay, now these three points are very important note points. Now we have to remember them. Okay, so we discussed the trigonometric ratios for the positive magnitude and to the negative magnitude also. Okay, now we are going to discuss the trigonometric ratios of complementary angles. If the sum of the two angles is 90, then the angles are known as complementary angles. For example, complementary angle of 20 is 70 degrees. Complementary angle of theta is 90 minus theta. Trigonometric ratios of complementary angles we have to discuss now. See ma, in this triangle, firstly we are going to find the trigonometric ratios for the angle theta. Okay, see ma, here sin theta is equal to theta's opposite side by hypotenuse, that is BC by AC. Okay, cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse, that's why AB by AC. And tan theta is equal to opposite side to theta by adjacent side, so BC by AB. So we know that cosecant, secant and cot are the reciprocal values of those sin, cos and tan respectively. So that's why cosecant, secant and cot values are expressed like that. Now if it is theta, then what is this angle ma? 90 minus theta. Why? Because the sum of A and C gives us 90, we discussed earlier. I am going to draw another triangle with respect to the angle C. So see, it is 90 minus theta. As we discussed, it is theta, no? Okay na? So it is 90 minus theta. With respect to this 90 minus theta, I am going to write the trigonometric ratios here. See ma, now it is theta to me. So sin theta is equal to, that means sin 90 minus theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse, AB by AC. Once see ma, what is AB by AC? AB by AC means cos theta. So sin 90 minus theta is nothing but cos theta. So remember this. Next, cos 90 minus theta. What is cos 90 minus theta ma? 90 minus theta's adjacent side is BC and hypotenuse is AC. BC by AC. What is BC by AC? Once see ma, sin theta. BC by AC is equal to sin theta ma. Next, see, tan 90 minus theta. Here tan 90 minus theta means opposite side by adjacent side, AB by BC. What is AB by BC from that? See ma, once see, AB by BC means what? Cot theta. Okay? Next, cosecant 90 minus theta. Cosecant 90 minus theta means hypotenuse by its opposite side, that is AC by AB. What is AC by AB ma? Secant theta. And that is cosecant theta. By observing those two trigonometric ratios with respect to theta and 90 minus theta, it is tan theta ma. So these are the trigonometric ratios of the complementary angles. So we have to remember them as formulas. Sin 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta. Cos 90 minus theta is equal to sin theta. Tan 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta. cosecant 90 minus theta is equal to secant theta. Secant 90 minus theta is equal to cosecant theta. Next, cot 90 minus theta is equal to tan theta. So we have to remember them. If I want to draw these two triangles in a unit circle, see so see, let us take this as A and this as B and this as C. Okay, and it is theta. Okay, the same triangle again drawn into the same unit circle. So I am going to draw the same triangle like here, and this angle becomes 90 minus theta. That means this angle here I am going to write. Understand, ma? This is 90 minus theta, no ma? So this 90 minus theta is expressed here to the vertex. Okay, now in this manner we are going to draw the diagram here, and I am going to find the trigonometric ratios. Don't bother about this one. Okay, in this manner we are going to find the complementary angle of a given angle. Okay, now so we have to remember these as formulas. Okay, then after we are going to discuss the trigonometric ratios for the angles 90 plus theta and 180 plus theta, 270 plus theta, 180 minus theta, 270 minus theta, 360 plus theta, 360 minus theta. For all those values we are going to discuss. Discussing in this method, it is somewhat difficult. Now I am going to explain you in a simple and understandable manner. Okay. So for that I am going to create some tricks to how to remember them in the next video.